Hi guys, welcome to my channel everyone, and thank you so much for watching. What's going on guys? I'm Jade. If you're new here, please hit the like button as you come in. Thank you so much for doing that. Hit the like button and also share the video. Thank you so much. I have a fit. Let me not speculate, let me not say anything, but we'll see. So welcome to my channel. Let's talk about Camilla and Charles. If you don't know, she and Charles, particularly Camilla, she's been trending on Twitter. She's been trending, and in my opinion, for good reasons. So let's let's pedal back a little bit. Okay. So a few years ago, because I remember this story very, very well. I remember this story very well. Hi, Ernestine. Hi, happy Sunday. I remember this story very well, and happy new month. This was a few years ago, back in 2017, Cheka. So they came to Canada to the royal thing that they typically do when they come to Canada. So, and then a couple of ladies from the Ikalik group decided, it's a traditional thing. They wanted to perform their traditional throat singing, um, act. And so while they were doing their performance, Charles and Camilla started laughing like they couldn't even control themselves. The British media, and this was before the British media lost their minds. This was before she completely bought them, in my opinion. The British media did not take too kindly to what she was doing. They were furious. There were articles written about them. There were even interviews wanting to know how the women felt that their visitor, somebody supposed to be from the royal family, they wanted to know how the women felt seeing the story online and how they were laughing. I remember the women, once they were interviewed, they, kind of played it off. They kind of like shrugged it off and be like, oh, it's okay. But, in situations like that, they're not going to come out and say they were offended, they felt embarrassed by what Charles and his wife did. Of course, they're going to act like they're brushing it off, because they don't want the backlash from that. They don't want the royal watchers and the fans to come after them, because these people are vicious. It's just like another example of this was what recently happened with Donald Trump when he visited the Arlington Cemetery, and he and his thugs, they went there to like make a fool of themselves, even going as far as one of Donald Trump's staffers, hitting the staff at the cemetery. So when the staff was asked if they wanted to press charges or whatever, the staff said no. They were afraid of retaliation. So it wasn't surprising to me to see that these young women didn't want it wasn't surprising to me that these young women didn't want, they didn't want to say anything negative about him or about how they felt, how they truly, truly felt about him making fun of their traditional performance. But so they just kind of acted as if, oh, it's okay, it's one of those things. People typically laugh. And I remember, even now that the story is trending again, a lot of people some people, not all, because now we have all seen that Charles and Camilla are just like terrible humans. and the backlash is a lot, But I remember even then, some people were trying to dismiss this and say, "Oh, this was funny. I would have laughed too. It's not a big deal." It is a big deal. Maybe you think it's not a big deal because you don't really have a tradition like that, or maybe you I don't know, or maybe you have no value, but you would expect that somebody that is higher ranking, top ranking royal, will know how to comport themselves. Even the British media even labeled them as acting and giggly like naughty school children because of the way they were behaving. They were acting like naughty school children, acting really irresponsible. And now that we are in 2024, now that the British media pretty much lost their minds, because of the hatred that they have um for Meghan and Harry. But I could not help but wonder how they would have received this had this been Meghan and Harry doing the exact same thing. Now, giving everything, now that allegedly Camilla is basically in their pocket and all of that malarkey. You know what I mean? So now I'm just here wondering. I mean, I can even answer my own question. We know that they never would have tolerated this. They never would have. They would have felt so embarrassed. Oh, they're bringing down the name of the royals. Oh, their actions are reflecting poorly on the royals. We know this is how they would have reacted. We know this is exactly how they would have reacted, you know. But now, because Camilla has been able to convince a bunch of these people, her former critic, they used to really criticize her a lot because what she did to Princess Diana, the British people did not forgive. Oh, the British people did not forgive. A lot of them might be consumed with hatred now for Meghan, but deep down in their hearts, they know that they cannot stand her. They know they cannot stand Camilla. And that's the reason why she's going out of her way, allegedly buying all these media people, inviting them to lunch and all the other nonsense. Can you imagine? This woman invited to lunch one of Meghan Markle's most vicious, most vile critic. And I'm not even saying that Meghan Markle should not be criticized or she should be exempted from everything, but the things that these people have done, they have even gone as far as depicting Harrison, Meghan and Harry's first son, as a monkey. Okay, so for Camilla to go and have lunch with Jeremy Clarkson, one of Meghan's most disgusting critic, it tells you that she is really, really hell-bent on making herself a thing, making herself popular, and she's going to do it with the help. She's gonna do it throwing Meghan under the bus. You know what I mean? So yeah, watch this again. They were just laughing, making a complete fool of themselves. Like, this is so embarrassing. And I don't care what anybody says. Oh, oh, it's funny. No, it's not funny. Okay? This is other people's culture. This is their way of life. Okay? This is other people's culture. So somebody invites you, to their home, shows you, respect, and then you decide that you cannot control yourself. These two adults who are already in their late 60s and 70s, we are giggling like fools. making a complete fool of themselves, lacking the ability to control themselves. If this was just some random person, then I'll be like, oh, well, it's random. But when Camilla and Charles are visiting Canada on an official capacity, they're supposed to conduct themselves. They're supposed to conduct themselves in a respectful manner. Like, tell me what kind of a human. It just really shows, yeah, just how vile. Like they are. When I look at these two, I see really, really selfish people. That's what I see when I look at them. Very selfish, very self-centered. It is that same selfishness that they use to like destroy Diana's home. These two home wreckers, that selfishness still continues till this day. Like they are such a poor representation of the British people. Even though I don't think there is a lot to be like, anyways, let's just watch this. Watch these two clowns. Look at them. Look at them giggling. These two are such poor examples. Like wow. Wow. They lack the ability to behave. They can't control themselves. A major lack of self-control is what I see here. Hi, Sandrine. Sandrine says he and Pierre Morgan are despicable trolls, terrible human beings. Pierre Morgan, his problem, right? Do you know what Pierre Morgan's problem is? Pierre Morgan's problem is kind of personal. Pierre Morgan, Piers, his name is Piers. Oh, anyways, Pierre Morgan, even at some point revealed, even he didn't give, didn't has issues with Megan now is because, but he gave an instant. He told a story about how he met Megan, and I think they went to lunch or something, or to dinner, and then they both left on a good note. He was very sure that he was going to meet her again or whatever. And then it was like the next week or so that Harry and Meghan were introduced, and then that was it. He tried to reach out to Meghan after that, and Meghan just started blowing him off. She wasn't talking to him anymore. And so all of a sudden, he had to put two and two together and came to the conclusion that it was probably Harry who told her not to have anything to do with the British press. Right? This is something that Pierre Morgan has said. Which really makes me shake my head when I see how all of a sudden these same people are now blaming the same Meghan for the quote-unquote Megxit, when no single media is unaware of Harry's dislike for the media. No single media is unaware of it because Harry has always felt unprotected by the media. In addition to what his mother went through and what subsequently, in addition to him basically holding the media responsible for what happened to his mother, he has also felt like over time, whenever something happened, whenever there was a controversy, the media always treated him differently than they treated William. He was always very aware of this, you know. And you will know if you come from a family and one person is treated better than you or one person is treated differently than you. Like you will always know, you will always have that at the back of your mind that you and X, Y, and Z are treated differently. So he has always seen that the media has always shown William grace and they haven't shown him the same. When he was a teenager going through the teenage rebellious times or whatever, the way the media pounced on him. And then he also talked. Harry is a very sensitive man in the sense that like he feels things differently than William does. William is a stone cold loser, okay? Like he's stone cold, like he's icy, he's like weirdo. But Harry is not like that. And Harry has even said that there are times when William will make him do certain things, and then when he does it, when there is a backlash, that William will leave him alone, will like kind of go into hiding, pushing him to take the fall. That there are some of the things that were controversial, that made it to the news or whatever, that William basically made him do because he was the younger one. He was the one who didn't really understand a lot of the things. But then when there was a fallout from that decision, he was left holding the bag. He was left to face the consequences. While William continued to build his image, painting himself out to be a very responsible young man, a very decent, prince, and never getting into trouble or whatever. But he was saying that many of the issues that they had was as a result of what many of the things that he did, many of the controversies were as a result of what William made him do. But he never, whenever things went south, he never, ever, ever stood, in defense or trying to like resolve the whole thing. Yeah, yeah. And you know what proved more? Do you know the one thing that has now proven that more than anything else, okay? I know they've been saying it. I have always believed that William and Kate, they have uh they have some type of agreement with the media, you know, because of the things that have been pushed out there, especially when they lied. The media lied. They released a false story that Megan made Kate cry, which really wasn't the case. It was Kate who made Megan cry. But the way they twisted the whole story, they wanted to make Megan seem like a bad person. So I've always in my heart I've always felt like, yeah, the media and Kate and William were in cahoots. They were definitely working together to bring down Harry and Meghan. But do you know one thing that has made this even more clear? It is the fact that Harry did not inform William that he was coming. Nobody, not even anybody from the Spencer family, informed William that Harry was coming. And because he wasn't informed, the media did not know about it. The media were basically, sidelined. They were in their feelings. Because if they had known about it, guess what they would have done? They would have had enough time to prepare all of their lies. They would have had enough time to prepare their fabrication. But when somebody doesn't give you notice and they just show up, it's a different ball game. You know what I mean? It's going to take you a long time to like get over the shock of them not informing you, of you being caught unaware. It's going to take you a while to get over the shock, number one. And number two, it's going to take you a while to cook up something. Again, you're still rattled like, wow. So to me, in my opinion, the fact that Harry was able to fly to the UK, attend his uncle's funeral without the media knowing about it, that right there is the proof, if you ever needed one, that William and Kate were the ones leaking to the media. They were the ones leaking to the media. There was even an hashtag a few days ago where they said, Spencer no leak or something like that. The Spencer family were able to protect Harry from the viciousness of the media. You know what I mean? To me, that is amazing. That right there is the answer that you need. William is the snake, which just really makes me sad that William will always choose to like put his own brother, throw his own brother under the bus. For William to be so comfortable throwing his brother under the bus, that just tells you that he has no character. And to the British people who are going to be existing under his rule, under his reign, good luck. You guys are going to need all of the luck that you can get from this wicked king. He's gonna be a really wicked king. Like, I can already just see it. He's gonna be a very wicked king. Very wicked. Let's not even talk about the way he treats his wife. He's always cheating on her. He's always messing the same exact thing that his father did. When Diana talked about how there were 3 people in her marriage, some people thought she was crazy. Some people thought she was exaggerating. But look at this situation now. And what is even sad, William said in his book that he actually begged his father not to marry her, not to marry Camilla. He begged his dad. He begged his dad not to marry Camilla because, it was just bad. But this man, you think he waited all this time for your mother to get out of the way for you to come and tell him not to marry? No way. No way. Of course he was going to marry her. And you had no choice than you're just going to have to deal with it. So these are not good people. And I love that she's getting exposed. I love that King Charles is getting exposed. I love that they are all getting exposed. Like, you cannot do this thing. Back then, social media was not what it is now. The internet was not at all what it is now. And so, people talked about it a little bit and then everyone pretty much moved on. But right now, the conversation is just as important right now. It's just as important right now and just as relevant right now as it was back then, because it highlights the kind of people that these are. Very classless. Very classless. And don't even get me started. Oh, guys, don't even get me started on the rubbish that they wrote, that they made the king read out. Sorry, the queen. You know how the Queen Elizabeth wrote that she wanted Camilla to be like queen consort or whatever. We know that was Camilla and Charles's. That was their writing. That had Charles and Camilla written all over that crap. That was not written by the queen. It was not a decision that the queen made. It was not a suggestion that the queen made. They made those suggestions because they felt, they still know that the British people do not F with Camilla like that. They don't care about her. You know, they know this. So they felt like, I really believe that the reason behind putting that in, in words was to kind of like give people the impression that, oh, this is what the queen wanted. This is what Elizabeth wanted. So don't, so you guys have no choice but to like accept her wish. She wants to be known as queen. Like when you even search her name, when you search Camilla's name, you will see Queen Camilla. No, bitch, you're not a queen. Oh my gosh. Like, it's so annoying. This is so nauseating. Seriously, seriously. So weird, you know. But they were, it was so obvious that they were the ones doing all the writing. They just made the woman read those things out. It was all them. All them. And she had no choice than to read and to, I mean, how much time does she have left, The woman was tired. She wants to go and be with her husband. So she would have done anything, just leave her alone. So when I saw that, I shook my head. I was like, they made this woman read this thing out because they knew that that was maybe another way to try and get the British people to like respect her, because right now they don't respect her. Okay, they don't. And even though the British media is now trying so hard to make her significant, but it will never gel. You know what I mean? And regardless of what I feel about the British people and just how awful I think they are, but one thing that I can take comfort in is knowing that they don't like this woman and she knows it too. She knows it too. You know? So at the end of the day, yeah, it is what it is. Let me see some comments. William has turned out to be such a disappointment. Everything that his mother has instilled in him seems to have been tossed aside. It looks like he's turned out to be just like his disgusting father. Right. I absolutely agree with that. I do. He has turned out to be really, really bad, you know? And people were like, oh, he's going to be a. No, he's exactly like his father. Cold, like he's very cold-hearted. Even the way he treats the non-white citizens, like no respect, no humanity in his heart. But again, I'm not surprised. He treats his ex-wife, he treats his wife like crap anyways. And that one is just staying there because what else is she gonna do? And that's another reason why I think Kate is so jealous of Meghan, because Meghan was her own individual person. She had her own autonomy. She had her own agency. She didn't need to be she was just living her life, doing her thing. And there is a level of jealousy there because Kate, will look at Meghan and be like, why can't I just do it? Oh gosh. People say, oh, she has nothing to be jealous of. Yes, she does. When you're every single day, every day you wake up, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed, even beyond, every single thing is planned out for you. Every single thing. When you truly are a second-class citizen in your home, like you are there to serve your husband, to have children for him. and then he can go on and do whatever. Whereas Meghan and Harry, they have this amazing, this ideal family life. Do I think that their marriage is perfect? They don't have issues? Of course not. Every marriage has their own flaws. Every marriage has their own thing, but they couldn't be more different, you know. But Harry's husband, Meghan's husband is Meghan's husband, okay? And you can just tell that he absolutely adores her, just like she adores him. But we can see that that is not the case. There are conversations about whether or not Kate faked her illness just because there was something going on in the home and she didn't want to be seen outside with William, and so faked her illness, and then so that she can use that as a reason why she hasn't been seen, first of all doing royal duties, and second of all seen with William. So these are all the things that people are wondering. And we know that the royal family, things happen that they like to bury, you know? I wouldn't put this past them. It wouldn't even surprise me if maybe, I'm not saying that she didn't have any kind of medical issues, or maybe it wasn't as serious as they made it out to be, because they wanted to give her enough time to buy time for her, basically. They wanted to justify why she wasn't going out. Because the woman that I saw when she went to that latest event that she went to, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm not trying to question whether this woman really has an illness or whatever. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. But things are not gelling, no. Things are not making sense, so okay. But I cannot also dismiss the narrative that there might be something more going on with regards to to William and Kate. That they are trying to bury under this medical issue that she supposedly have. I don't know. Don't ask me. um Diana Flanders says Piers Morgan forget he was a married man. He doesn't care. I don't even think his wife cares. you know I don't think his wife cares. Exactly, though. But he wasn't even ashamed to say that. Oh, he was angry that as soon as Meghan and Harry went steady, she basically Megan cut him off, and she wasn't speaking to him anymore. Like, he wasn't even ashamed to come out and say something like that. Because, dude, what you're doing by revealing that, you're giving us a reason why you hate her. You're giving us a reason why all of a sudden you have all these negative, awful things to say. Maybe you wanted to bed her and she wasn't going to go, and then she met somebody else that was miles and miles and miles better than and so she completely tossed you aside. So it was so interesting, because whenever he was saying that, I was like, wasn't he married around that time? And his wife doesn't even care. There was even a time when when the conversation, when they were really mocking him about wanting to go to date Meghan Markle. He then posted a picture of his wife, as if to say, "Oh, my wife is pretty." I mean, I have nothing against your wife, Piers Morgan, but she's no Meghan. Okay? I have nothing against your wife at all. I don't even know why you would even bring her into this to say, well, look at my wife. What would I want to date Meghan for? But hate to break it to ya, she's no Meghan Markle. That's all I got to say about that. Okay. But yeah, that was definitely something. That was definitely a conversation that people were having back in the day. And they were like, why are you so bent out of shape over a woman who met somebody and then chose, for whatever reason, whether she was told, whether it was a personal decision, it doesn't even matter. But she chose not to continue communications with you. And then all of a sudden you turn around and start vilifying her, and you don't think people are going to call you out and call you salty and call you scorned. Like, he was definitely acting like a man scorned. Honestly, the way he was going after her. He hasn't changed. I haven't followed him for some time, but I imagine that he's still dragging Megan. I imagine that he's still, because that's the only thing that is giving them any engagement now. That's the only thing that is giving them views. Drag Megan and get notoriety, drag Megan and get views and get clicks and all of that malarkey. And as a result of that, they will continue to do it. They'll continue to lie. And that's the reason why they are so bent out of shape, that they were not informed in time to cook up stories, so that while he's in the UK, they will just be forming all kinds of lies. They'll just be manufacturing lies, things that are not even true. They'll just be manufacturing it every day while he's in the UK. If they had been told prior to Harry coming to the UK, that was what they would have done. They would have gone into work, cooking up things. But now, because they were not informed, because his mother's family love him so much and they care about him, and they know that the way he's been treated, he has not been treated fairly. And so what did they do? They protected him. They protected him, inadvertently exposing William as the leak. Yeah, that's what they did. They exposed William as the leak. Because if William didn't know, then the media didn't know. Um, Flores says they wanted the Brits to accept her. Shake my head. Exactly, because for many, many years, she was very much considered the home wrecker. Till today, the media may have succeeded in turning Meghan Markle, or turning the British people against Meghan Markle, right? They may have succeeded in doing that. But that does not mean that they automatically now have started to like Camilla. No, they still hate Camilla. They still hate her with a passion. They still see her as a home wrecker. They still have no respect for her. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the British people basically proved to the British media, that they can walk and chew gum at the same time. They can hate Meghan Markle thanks to the British media, and also hate Camilla thanks to Camilla and Charles and their home wrecking ways. So they've not been able to convince the vast majority of the British people that, oh, she should be accepted, she should be loved. No, 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 no. I still see the comments. I still see what they say. While they are bashing Meghan, they are also bashing her. You know what I mean? So yeah, they have not succeeded in doing that. And I don't think that they will, because God don't like ugly. You know, they may be prejudiced against Meghan, but they can also choose not to support a home wrecker. And till tomorrow, Charles and Camilla are still the least favorite royals. So yeah. Sandrine says, didn't Harry say in his book Camilla was in cahoots with the media? Yeah, she said it. Sorry, he said it. Yeah, and it's true. And this right here just proved it. You know? Yeah, she by going to lunch, with Jeremy Clark, she proved it. and she got a lot of backlash for it. She thought that because the British people now hate Meghan Markle, she would have been able to get away with going to lunch with somebody that was so hateful to Meghan Markle. But even with that, they used it as an opportunity to hate her. I don't even think that they cared about Meghan. The people that were that had a backlash, people that were dragging her for going to lunch with Jeremy, they were not. I don't even think they were necessarily doing it because of Meghan. I think it was just another opportunity for them to drag Camilla, and they did. So like, yeah, they are all the same ultimately. Flores says she was living her life, cruising her cruise and vibing her vibe. Let me see. The public loves Harry, but because he seemed to be more popular than their hair, he is allegedly being tossed. Yeah, yeah. He is the beloved one, and naturally, they don't ever want a situation where the spare is more popular than the heir. That was ultimately the reason why they did what they did to Meghan and Harry. Because when they saw how loved Meghan and Harry were, whenever they would go to these their royal overseas trips, and they will, and the way when they saw the way they were loved in comparison to the way Harry to the way William and Kate were treated when they went on the same trip, it was very different. People were very, very much more accepting of Harry and Meghan. People were very, very, because they saw themselves in Meghan. She was very relatable, and Harry is very relatable, and they are easy to love, and that was where the jealousy came from. Um, Kadi Kadi says, "Wow, the press in the U.S. is very different from what is being understood over here. In what way? In what way?" Unoma says, "It was rumored he had an affair. Who had an affair?" Janine says, Piers Morgan is just bitter because Meghan Markle didn't want him. Yeah, you know that is true. Look at these two psycho women. Look at these two psycho men. These two psychos. They were laughing like fools. Laughing like fools. Hi, Victoria. Hi. Happy Sunday and happy new month. Um Kali Kali says, Jade, he was indeed scorned. He paid an Uber ride for Meghan to meet him, but Meghan went to the party where she met Harry in person. And he never ever let it go. He never let it go. Mm. In what world? Oh gosh. In what world will Meghan choose you, Piers Morgan? In what world will Meghan choose you, Piers Morgan, over Harry. Let's not even talk about the fact that the obvious, which is you are a married man. Let's just talk about everything else. In what world, even if you were single, even if you were single Pringle, in what world will Meghan choose you over Harry? Give me a break. Whew, these people. Diana Flounder says, Camilla invites some people to lunch and then tell them Meghan is evil. She had lunch with a fashion designer and tell him Meghan is evil. The fashion designer said he's not going to design anything. He doesn't even need to like tell them over lunch, you know. Sorry, she doesn't even need to tell them over lunch. Like, she knows how she does her communication. She knows who she sends, you know. Like the way, even take for example, you know, these people, they will not want their hands to be dirty. They know how to do it. They know how to do it. They know how to communicate with all these people, you know. And in addition to that, I remember when oh, I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something that I remember, you know. It's what they do. They know how to, they know where they meet. They have made a deal with the media and the thing, like, it's so crazy, it's so wild, you know. They know exactly how they meet each other. They know exactly how to pass the message across. Whenever you hear things like, oh, the aide, former aide, the staff, they're the one feeding the staff those information, because they still have to have plausible deniability, right? They still have to protect themselves so that it is not so obvious that they are doing bad things. But they absolutely are doing bad things, you know. um Somebody says that's why they got rid of Princess Diana, because she was more popular. Exactly. Yeah, yeah, than the queen. Yeah, Diana at the peak was so popular, even more popular than the queen, and they don't want that. They don't want that because they feel like a beloved queen is a respected queen, right? They rather have people loving them, because they feel like when people love them, and this is true, it's not even a matter of feel. Historically, when when kings, when royals, when rulers are loved and respected, their subjects are more likely to listen to them, you know, and they know the implications of having somebody else who is not the person in charge, who's not like the ruler, the ruler of the day. They know what it means to have, when that person has more likability and that person is more liked and more popular. They know it's not a good look for them, you know, and so they will do whatever they need to do to like cut that person off. You know, they will engage in all kinds of things. So yeah, she was, especially after it was revealed that, you know, Charles was messing with Camilla. That just made people dislike him even more, dislike her. That made people even love Princess Diana more, you know. So and they just can't, they just can't. I knew it, eh? It's almost as if I wish I have like a time machine, not a time machine. I wish I have something that can rewind me, that can play what I was thinking the very day when I saw Harry and Meghan in Australia being loved on, being fawned over by the people of Australia. I was like, oh my gosh, the British people are not going to like this. The royal family are not going to like this. This is not supposed to happen. The spare, the spare is not supposed to have like, so not, it's not supposed to be more liked, you know. So because the one that's not in line, I forget the exact word that I used back then, but I felt like Harry and Meghan are not supposed to have more likability, are not supposed to be more liked than William and Kate, I knew this was going to be a problem. That really, and I noticed that was the turning point. That was the turning point. They just went ham after that. They stopped pretending. It wasn't as if they were not always writing all these vicious things, so, but they were very subtle about it. They were very vague about it, you know. They didn't want to like just face it head on. But when Harry and Meghan went to Australia, and the reception that they got, that was a turning point. Because before they will say things like, oh, look at what she's wearing. Oh, she's wearing this really expensive thing. And, you know, they will say things, they will put a little bit of shade there. But after that Australian trip, they completely flipped. It was in that moment. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I'm back. It was then that I knew. I was like, no, this is not gonna be good. The royal family, they're not gonna like this. Because this is a family that like they put a lot of emphasis on being liked. And it's just common sense, you know. A king is supposed to be more liked, you know. A ruler is supposed to be more liked. That's the only way they can control the people. You know what I mean? So yeah. It was crazy. Happy New Month to you as well, Mamadi. Let me see the comments. Sandra says this young couple, Harry and Meghan, had modernized this outdated and stuffy monarchy, and they should have embraced that. That is something that they should have embraced. That is something that they should have been so open to and so happy about. That is something that they should have been so happy about. So, um, Kadi says that woman is scrupulously powerful. What woman? If you watch The Crown, although it's exaggerated, you will see how they are. What woman? Hiya, Keisha. I know, I'm getting ready to log off. I saw this, I wanted to get this done. Because, yeah, and just talk about this. Because, mm, 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 mm. Anyways, oh, oh, Camilla. Oh, okay. Well, all of her power, she's still not liked. Nobody's still messing with her. So I guess having all that power can only get you so far, you know. And the power that she supposedly have, I guess is just, you know, it doesn't go beyond the UK. So, and that's where she has the power. And because if these people would have been able to like do damage to Harry and Meghan in this side of the pond, they would have done it. But everything that they have tried hasn't worked. Because at the end of the day, America doesn't care. You know, America doesn't care about royalty. You know what I mean? So yeah, if if they would have been able to like and destroy, if they would have succeeded, not for a lack of trying, no, they did try to like pull her down and bring her down, but nothing worked. Because again, like I said, ultimately, you know, her power only begins and ends in the UK, not even in other European countries, honestly, you know, because like nobody cares. So I'm just really so happy to see Meghan and Harry doing well. They're thriving. All of the attack. Like, do you know how? I can't even imagine what they would have faced having the weight of the royal family, an institution that dates back to centuries, okay? An institution so powerful that all they need to do is just blink and things will get done. For Meghan and Harry to still be able to like stand and be thriving and be doing their thing. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy for them. I could not be more happy for them. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm coming back later. I don't know. I don't want to make any promises. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Tomorrow is Labor Day here. So I don't even know why I said that. It doesn't matter. But happy Labor Day to you, North Americans. And yeah, I'll see if I can come back later. And if not, it go be. Bye, guys.